Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to this week's show, Where Are They Now? Those who follow us know that this show is all about celebrating the lives of legendary musicians, music people, South African, local and international, who have contributed to the beautiful mosaic that has built the backbone of South Africa's music history. Here they share their journeys, they share their amazing experiences, they tell us their stories, and we are the lucky witnesses who get to see these lives so well lived. Tonight's guest is a woman that I have seen many times over the years. She's been doing what she does best. She's a producer for TV, film, documentaries, and everything in between. But what makes her stand out from all those shows and those documentaries is her heart, her commitment, her ever-striving nature to make everything that she touches turn into gold. And here today, we are going to hear these amazing, fascinating stories that make up the huge but humble life of Di Rosen. Welcome. Wow, that's nice, hey? I mean, when when you're sitting and watching it, sweetheart, you just got to go, yeah, that's nice. It's professional. It's class act. And I think that's really what you are and always have been, Di. You're a class act.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah.
So are you?
Well, thank you for that. But the show is all about you, darling. Before we even start with the questions, I would like to share just the tip of the iceberg of some of the things that this lady has done. Some of the awards, the Cannes Film Festival, the Sundance Film Festival, TV4 variety shows, an Arties nomination. I mean, we're talking about some things here that are like ballistic. These are things that people die for. Their whole lives, they just want to win these awards, and you've won them.
With the help of a team, Cindy. It always takes a team.
And I understand that. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit. I want to just talk about, you've always had good teams.
Absolutely. You're as good as the people around you.
I think when you're in this kind of business, you need a lot of help. You have the vision, you've got the board, you know where to put everything.
Correct.
But somebody has to carry it out.
Yes. And it's not easy. I mean, when people watch, when people watch what they see, they have no idea the time, the effort, the sweat, the tears that have gone.
And the hysteria, I'm sure. It gets crazy. And especially with a live production. I think that's like, woo.
Very nerve-wracking.
That's terrifying.
Because you can't really stuff up. You don't have a second chance.
You're not allowed to make a mess.
No, not at all.
Like, what? I want to cherry pick some of the moments for you. We're going to talk about so many other things, but you've done these incredible shows where there's some, even today, that stand out that you go, oh, that made me feel proud. That worked for me.
You know, I'm never happy. It doesn't matter. I always walk away thinking it could have been better. I mean, that's just the way I am, and I'm sure for many, exactly.
But we all like that. Artistic people are like that.
Correct. So for me, I tell you, my 16 years creating Nomkabelu Kamokibelu, which you were on many, many times.
Yes.
It was a profound time in my life, and it gave me a lot of pleasure because it launched a lot of musicians that are very well known today.
Yes, it did. Because it was this like African mixed variety program almost.
It was. I mean, people used to break down the doors because there was an audience involved. I don't know how many times SABC doors were broken to get
because the people wanted
to be in the audience. Yeah,
it was huge.
It was massive, and
it was huge.
So I loved that program. I mean, yes, and it was on air for 16 years without ever being off air. You know, some programs have a break. It never had a break.
Yeah. Wow, unbelievable.
I mean, there's so many shows and so many experiences. Obviously, the Cape Town International Jazz Festival was very close to my heart.
I definitely want to talk about that. The artists that come to that show, it's like, wow. What are we talking about here, you know?
It is.
The thing is, it's so well respected across the world. Who was here recently? Do you remember?
No, because I stopped working on it a good couple of years ago. When SABC stopped broadcasting, I never got involved with the Jazz Festival anymore because it wasn't being broadcast. I mean, so mainly I was responsible for the TV broadcast. So the first couple of years, the first 5 or 6 years, I used to produce and direct. And at the same time, I was mentoring Rashid Lombard's daughter, who took over the producing, which was amazing. And that gave me a lot of pleasure.
Was she good?
She really, she's good. And she's, she learned a lot and she grew even after that. So after that, I was involved in, I always directed the main stage, and I would just get involved a little bit in pre-production prior to that. But it was a massive show to be responsible for, initially to produce and direct it. 5 stages, be involved in the, to oversee the editing. It was massive. But the people that we met, I don't even remember all of them. I can't even name all of them. But they were the cream
I can imagine.
Of the crop.
Well,
absolutely.
There's a few I can mention that I remembered, like Level 42, Lala Hathaway, Jimmy Gludlu, Erykah Badu.
Yes. Oh, I love
anybody.
Okay.
Sorry, good. You got a story.
But,
got to tell me.
I've got to tell you. So Erykah Badu's on stage doing her thing, and you place your cameras, and the next thing she just decided to fly off stage, hoping the audience would catch her. I was sitting in that OB van going, what? So it was moments like that, which were great.
Did they catch her?
They did. Thank goodness. I mean, even security were totally shocked. She didn't pre-warn any of us.
Flying over their heads into the audience.
Yeah.
That's a good one, though. I'm sure you had a few moments like that. What was it like working with them? I mean, we always talk about, the bigger artists, and some of them have got their issues and stuff like that. But what I've seen generally is most of them are pretty normal.
Totally normal, very humble. Because with the International Jazz Festival, I used to do one-on-one interviews as well. and they were amazing. They were accommodating. They were relaxed. I loved it.
I
mean,
that.
I did. I mean, a lot of the international artists that used to tour, and I toured with them, and I'll never forget. There was one artist that actually made me cry. And Penny Stein, yeah, she was the PR publicist for Luther Vandross, the late Luther Vandross.
Right.
So I love my gadgets, and I love as many cameras as possible, and I love my cranes and my dolly and tracks, and I like movement. I don't like static shots. And he forced me. I couldn't put any cameras on stage. I was only allowed 4 cameras that had to be static. So that already freaked me out.
Okay.
So I did the show. I had 48 hours. It was being broadcast on SABC3, I think. I had 48 hours. We shot the show and we multi-tracked. So we were going to do a mix. But also when you multi-track, you also take a live feed. So you've got a mixed track already.
Yes.
And straight after the show, he came into that OB van and demanded the multi-track. He wasn't happy with the way he performed.
Oh.
I said, but you can't take it. I've got 48 hours to get on air. I need this. And he made me give it to him. The tears were just rolling down my face. Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, you get stories like that. I know. But we still got it out on air, and we just used the feed that we got.
You know what? I understand that. Yeah, there's always a solution, and I do understand. Sometimes I've sung something and people put it on Facebook and it's terrible, and I tell them, please take it down, and they're like, no, it's lovely. Yeah, I know it's a smaller bit of that, but an artist needs to feel that their best work is going out.
I understand and respect that.
Yeah,
it's just absolutely. I had a terrible tight deadline for broadcast.
But you would have done the best, and you would have sent out a beautiful recording. It wouldn't have been crap.
Well, I don't say it was crap, but it certainly could have. I did the best I could with what I had. Put it that way.
I don't think it was crap at all. No.
Okay.
No way. Can't be. So we've got some people saying, how's it? We always have Anthony from Mallorca. He works with Robin Auld. Anthony's Robin Auld's partner. He's a partner in crime. Good evening from Cloudy. Tony Gaza. Hello, Tony. Saying hello to the girls. Marion from Germany is watching us.
Oh.
And the lovely Robbie Mann.
Oh, hello, Robbie.
We love Robbie so much. He's coming on the show soon. And Sherry Cousins. Sherry is she's my media lady, and she's amazing. She's just so cool. Thank you, Sherry. Love you, darling. And we got Zach Hilton.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard that name for a very long time. Hello,
he's in the USA.
Yes,
hey,
I
Zach.
know.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Lovely to see you all. Thanks for visiting. We need you. We want to make this show really get a bit viral, because everybody, that's all they talk about, They didn't used to talk about your show going viral in the old days.
Definitely
you just
not.
You did a show. You put your heart and soul into it. It got onto TV, and as long as this was on TV every week, everybody was happy.
That's right.
Here it's like, now it's like, oh, you haven't got enough hits. I'm like, hits? What are hits? Yeah, you haven't got enough people.
The future things, so we're definitely on the right track.
Well, we are trying our best. Tell me, as a kid, what was your calling? What did you really want to do?
I always knew that I wanted to make people's lives better.
Yes.
So I wanted to empower other people.
Yes.
I never thought of being a TV director, producer at that stage. I think I wanted to be an air hostess. So it was serving. See, once again, we like to serve.
Serving. Yes, we do.
That was me as a kid. I never played with dolls, funny enough. I
Yeah.
always played work. So I was always in either a travel agent or a shop or something. So I was always
Okay.
business-minded then, or
I like
career-orientated
that.
then at a very
Yeah.
young age. Yeah,
No, I totally get
yeah.
that. But you did study a bit. You went to the Technicon and
Yes. I did 3
you did
years
some
of public
PR.
relations and marketing.
Yeah. So
Correct.
I'm sure that worked well for you in later years.
I did study it. I always said I'm studying it not to become like a public relations person or marketing,
Yes.
but to
Yes.
assist me in whatever I chose. So yes, it
And
did.
it did
Absolutely.
come. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
funny thing. Sometimes we don't know these things. So, I mean, I'll know somebody, oh, I took typing. I did. I took typing instead of maths. And I
So did
swear
I.
it was the best thing I did.
Me too. It
I
certainly
still can
helps
type like
today.
a crazy person. Yeah, it
Me
serves
too.
us. Absolutely serves us. Um, you started just moving towards TV and like marketing, commercials, that kind of thing. Who were you working for?
So initially, I mean, I actually started off selling ads in the Argus. Then I got
Okay.
headhunted through selling the ad in the Argus by an advert down below the line agency. Then I was approached to work. I worked at J. Walter Thompson in Cape Town.
Wow.
And then dealing with their Joburg office. So I was always involved in print. And then
Okay.
their TV department said, Di, we'd really love to have you. We need someone in traffic and like a TV production assistant. And I literally went up not knowing a soul, not a soul, and went to work for JWT in Johannesburg.
Okay.
And from there, it was, I learned a lot. I was doing print, TV, and then Ashley Lazarus from Cinevision. He did all
Yes.
the mainstay and Peter Stuyvesant ads.
Ah,
Then
yes.
he headhunted me, and I went to work with him on that side. So working for the production company as opposed to the agency. And then
I
worked for
understand.
Grays. And
Yes.
then I got, approached by Moira Tuck and Bill Forer to
Yes.
work. And then that's how my SABC career started. So I was like a permanent freelance person at
SABC.
SABC. Everyone thought that I was an employee, but I wasn't because I had my own office. I was doing like 4 or 5 different shows and
I
I was
love
there
it.
permanently, but I was always freelance. And the reason I didn't join permanently in those days, if you had like, say, Nomkabela was my show, you wouldn't be able to do other shows.
Ah,
And
yes.
I love variety and I like
Yeah.
being involved in all different kinds of programs. So that's why I never actually went permanent, which was a bad mistake. Actually, it was a stupid decision because I left with no pension.
Mm.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
loved my time there.
but even the pensions now are just you wouldn't have gotten much anyway, darling.
Yeah, true, but it would have been something. But I loved it. I
Sure.
loved being involved in all the different music shows, in the game shows, in the
That's it. So
magazine shows and documentaries. Yeah,
you were like, so the word is, you were a variety show of your own
correct. Yes.
because you were producing all kinds of shows. When you were working with Bill Forer and Moira, what kind of shows were you doing?
Well, I got into Nomkabela when they approached me.
Okay.
So I worked for the late Bill for a little bit, doing like magazine type shows.
Mm.
And I learned Moira was amazing, and I learned a fortune from both of them. Moira was doing Sundowner. Do you remember that?
I
And
remember
then,
that.
right. And then Moira said to me, Di, they're looking for a producer for variety. And then I moved on my own. And then that's how Nonkabela Kamokebela came about.
Okay. That was
Yeah.
very good. Yeah, we did play on that, definitely.
Yes.
I was with Zia at the time.
Correct. No, all the bands, PJ,
Everybody.
all of them, everyone was on that show. Jonathan Butler launched his career on that show.
Yes. My
And
goodness.
he was a baby then.
I know.
I mean, he was young.
He's a little kid.
Hmm.
I love that stuff. How did it go from doing shows at the SAB to the Cannes Film Festival to Golden Globe Adidas? You know, these are like big steps.
Well, Golden Globe Adidas was for SABC, and the SABC sent me to Cannes. It was actually for them.
Really?
So, yes, they gave me amazing, and Sundance Film Festival, amazing opportunities. And that was quite an eye opener, and it was wonderful.
Really?
And once again, you know, Claude Van Damme, Tom Selleck, there's so many of them. Faye Dunaway, they were all, you know, very obliging.
When you were doing Cannes?
Correct, yes.
I can imagine. As we said earlier, not all artists are, you know, horrible. Most of them are very cool.
Not all.
And helpful.
And I won't mention names, but on a lot of the shows, well, not a lot, but on some of them, you know, I had a backstage camera. So you'd see the artist backstage.
Okay.
And then they'd get there. So you'd see one persona, and then the curtains would open, they'd walk out and do their concert, and it was a completely different person. I mean, I often used to go, wow. If only the audience could see the real, true heart of this person.
That's so interesting. That must have been very weird in a way.
It was for me, because you saw the true person, you know, when no one was watching them. Then forgetting that I had a backstage camera while they were getting ready. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, Lord. There's a lot of stuff going on out there that people don't even know about it. This is where you're getting to see it. Zach Hilton, thanks for being here. Rolf Watteroth. Rolf is my friend in Germany. Hello, Rolf. Hi there. My name is Bob, and I'm working for a record company. So we're all a bit cooked. Good evening from Germany, thank you. Leonard Fisher is in either Australia or America.
No, he's in Canada. He's in
Canada. Toronto. There's Toronto.
Hello, Leonard.
You know Leonard.
I know Leonard very well, and he worked with me at the SABC, and he was awesome. And that's why he probably is where he is today. He was very good. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and he was friends with my sister, and Sonia Lynn Manning. Hello. Welcome, everybody. So I want to see some footage. We've got some killer stuff from Di's work. Let's have a look at, we're going to take that piece and just break it into a few pieces because it's a long piece. Let's have the first few minutes of it and just take a look at what Di's been doing.
Music is a language, so when it's well spoken, it will be accepted. But the rhythms are very important for us as Africans.
That brings back memories. Can you hear me?
I'm muted. Don't know why I was
Okay.
muted. Can you hear me?
I
was
hear
muted.
you now. Okay.
That was so weird. Sorry, darling. Don't worry. We're back to normal.
That's okay.
So,
I'm used to technical difficulties.
Of course, yeah, but you handle it very, very well. Let's talk about the Peter Stuyvesant Soul Invasion Tour.
I was an assistant on that.
Yes.
That was with Prince Charles.
Yes. Was it?
That's right. I think that was the one.
Or
so long ago.
Was he? No, he was the Two Nations in concert.
Oh, that was the Two Nations. You see, I can't even remember. It's so long ago.
I did my homework, darling.
Okay, so remind me who was on who was on that?
Peter Stuyvesant had Rebecca Malope, Randy Crawford.
Oh, yes.
Kool and the Gang, Maxi Priest, the Stylistics, Bayete.
That I was assisting.
Okay.
And in fact, that was when I really had the opportunity, was given the opportunity after assisting to actually direct my own big shows. And in fact, Koos Hutton had all the big shows and then he left for the States.
Okay.
And I took over. So,
wow. Yeah. So it's like things about opportunities that, you know, you were in the right place at the right time, really.
100%. It is all about being in the right place at the right time and giving it your all and people seeing, you know.
That's it. Well, that's why when I spoke about you in the beginning and I mentioned that you go the extra mile. You just, it's not like just a job to you. You give people everything that they want and more than they expect.
I do. I know I do, because I believe it's either all or nothing.
It has
to be. You either do the job properly or you don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And I've always had that attitude.
I think that's the best attitude to have, darling. You've been involved with a few women's empowerment productions and things like that. Is that something that's important to you?
Very.
Tell
Women's
me.
empowerment is very important to me. And how do I go about this? So the power within was conceptualized because I myself had a very bad experience, and of woman abuse, and which a lot of it is happening now,
Yes.
and people are opening
Yeah.
up more to it. And I just felt that women are abused in so many different ways. It could be from, whether it's a husband, whether it's the child, whether it's in the workplace. So I wanted to find people that had experienced this abuse, where they were, how they overcame, and where they are today, to
Okay.
almost encourage the viewer, because there's so many people out there that are in that same situation and remaining so silent and actually don't know where to turn. So that
Yes.
was the goal with that program. Absolutely. I still am today very
An
pro.
active, an
Yeah,
activist for women's. I
yeah,
think also being a woman in this industry, we get to see quite a lot of that. We get
yes,
to see abuse in all different
absolutely.
forms, and without having to be a screamer and a shouter and carry flags, you can do things in a different way that is more powerful.
Correct. And that is exactly what I try to do there,
That's why I'm
is giving
saying
back
this.
and
That's
and
exactly
empowering
what
the
I'm
viewer.
saying.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I was getting at, is that what you do by the way you empower these women, the way you talk about their lives and give them safety,
yes,
then you don't have to shout up above the treetops. You're just making good work, and it's impactful, very
yes,
impactful.
yes.
You did
And then
a yes.
no, sorry, sons. Also, when I moved down to Cape Town, I used to do women's talks at that time. People would attend abused women and try and find a way out of their scenario. I didn't do it for very long because I'm quite shy, believe it or not. I am. I
No,
don't
I
like being the
know
center of
this.
attraction.
I know.
But yeah, so I did it for as long as I felt I could do it to help them. I rather talk one on one.
Yes. And the
If they're
cancer
good.
thing as well. You were working with women with
Correct.
cancer.
I
You did a
was.
few.
Yes.
Did you do some documentaries on that?
I didn't get to do a documentary. I was trying to raise money and it didn't happen. But I did a 3-month stint in Ghana
Wow.
for also a music show. And during that time, one of the people in the office, one of the women in the office, was handling a cancer account. And they were
Okay.
having difficulties getting people talking. So I just jumped in and helped them. And I did speak, and I was on the news there on how I overcame my cancer,
Yes.
which was
Yes.
also empowering.
Sure. Boy, I tell you, we've got stories to tell, girl.
We
It's
have
it's just lovely.
loads.
I mean, if you're sitting here right now, do you feel? I know you've got lots more that you want to do, but do you feel you've got a legacy?
I hope I have a legacy. I,
Yes.
I hope I'm going to leave a legacy. I do know that I mentor people still. I have
Yes.
strangers phoning me on the telephone that said, Di, I got your number. How do I do a budget? How do I pitch? And I don't know who they are, but I'll spend
Mm.
time with them on the phone if I've got the time to help them.
To giving
I never
back.
hear from, yeah. So I hope so. Sins, I do.
I think you do, otherwise I wouldn't have really even mentioned it. I think you've left an incredible legacy with your work. I think you've got still so many more things to do, but in all these concerts and stuff, and you meet these people, I think we take a little bit of them with us wherever we go.
Oh, we do. We
Huh?
do. Absolutely. And I mean, I would talk to them exactly like I'm talking to anyone else because I never put them on a pedestal.
Yes,
I
that's
never
it.
had photos take. I would never ask any of them to have a photo with me. I just couldn't. I
there would
just,
there would probably be a lot of photos out there, darling.
yeah, yeah. I mean, at the Cannes and Sundance Film Festival, there were a couple, that we did. But with touring with these guys, I would treat them exactly as I would treat anyone else, and it worked.
Of course, it worked, and it worked for you, and you were comfortable in your space. The Two Nations concert was Prince Charles and Prince Harry had come to South Africa, right?
Yes, and it was with the Spice Girls, I think.
Yes, so Brenda Fassie, Lucky Dube,
Brenda.
Billy Ocean. Let's talk.
No, well, there wasn't any behind the scenes there. That I literally, for that one, I walked into the OB van, and again, I was on that one also assisting. So those two concerts that you mentioned was the beginning of my concert life. So I was assisting there. I didn't actually meet them, but I mean, Lucky Dube, I knew very, very well. I mean, he worked with me over and over and over again on Non Prevede. Yeah. And Shell Road to Fame.
I was going to say, Shell Road to Fame. That must have had everybody on it.
It did. That was also a great show. I mean, also launched so many musicians.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It launched a lot of people, and when people didn't know about these shows, it's like nowadays we have idols and Britain's Got Talent and stuff like that. But I think in those days it was so much more naive and innocent. There wasn't this big, going on. Oh, look at that!
Look how young I was, sons.
Oh, darling, a little girl.
I was that that was the award I won for Non Prevede and artists. And I mean, like, you know what happened there?
No.
My name got called out that I won, and I went up and I froze. I couldn't talk because I didn't expect it. I mean, Ken Kirsten was in the same category as me, the late Ken Kirsten. But there's no way. I went up and I froze. Oh, it was front of 3,000 people, and I cringed.
Oh, sweetheart. Yeah. It's like that. I did that once as well when I was accepting a SARI award. It was the last one we got, and we got three. We'd got 3 in our first SARI awards, and then 2 in our next one, and the next one I don't think we got anything, and then suddenly we got something. And I was actually so pissed off with the whole thing. And I went strolling down there, and I thought I was a big deal, and I just said, 3rd time lucky, man. Thank you. Bye. Such an idiot.
You don't know what to say when you get up there.
You don't know. You don't know what to say. I was totally like, also gobsmacked that I was being even asked. Hey, like, what are you asking me for? Now, you've explained quite a lot of things, and we've already talked about so many different things that you've done. Where was Di's life apart from all of this? What was going on in your life besides this work?
Well, it depends. I mean, what decade are we talking?
Any decade, you pick it. Hi, doll. Bernie Williams. You know what? Maybe in the heat of all these productions, when you were so busy and you were just so focused on getting yourself somewhere, what was your life like?
Well, I worked. I just worked and worked and worked. And I literally worked to also look after my child.
Okay.
I brought him, I supported him myself.
Yes.
And I, so it, as a single mom, you just work your butt off to supply and to provide and to have food on the table and send him to a good school.
Sure.
And I think I'm stumbling because I can't really open up sins. I mean, know my life story.
Absolutely, and you don't have to. You really don't have to, sweetheart. I'm not trying to put you on a spot here and force you to say something. Never in a million years would I.
I know
it is hard to talk about these things, even though in the simplest question, like, what were you doing? I was just trying to look after my kid. But you were surviving, firstly. Correct. You were up and coming one of the best, finest producers we've ever had. And you were juggling whatever you had to juggle to make it work.
Correct. I can tell you a bit of my life. I mean, it hasn't been easy. It's, I mean, as I said, I suffered abuse in a relationship.
Yes.
I did have to escape, which wasn't easy.
Yes.
I also was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in the 80s. And I was told that I had 8 years to live. And I completely rebuked it. I said, I just won't accept it.
Yeah.
And I had to, the top 5 specialists, they were all in agreement. And they were saying, we love your positive attitude, Di, but you will have to give up television. It's too stressful. You won't, your whole body's going to disintegrate and you're going to be in a wheelchair. You won't be able to have a child. And you've got about 8 years. That's it. And I mean, that was in the early 80s, mid 80s. And, I just prayed. That's when I really turned to prayer and believed in it.
Really?
And my faith in prayer and believing in God, this was not going to happen to me, and it didn't. Yes, I mean, I wasn't well, but I overcame it.
Yeah. Through
the power of the mind. And I had a child, and today we're in 2021, and I'm still working in television under stressful circumstances, and I'm still busy, and I'm blessed and I'm grateful. There was that. Then there was breast cancer. So the journey hasn't been easy, but I've overcome all of it. And if I can do it, anyone can.
Well,
I'm
we
no
do.
Different to anyone
That's
else.
what we do say. We speak to others. It's funny. I also have a hard time talking about my cancer or my abusive relationship and stuff because it seems so self-indulgent in a way. And I'm not self-indulgent, and I never want to be, and I only want to give back and give out. So I totally get it, and that's why I know what you're saying exactly. But you've already told the story your way.
Correct.
Your way.
Yes.
And that's the way I wanted your story to be. Your way, completely.
I mean, there's so much I could tell, but it would be name dropping. It would going through horrific experiences. I mean, I could write a book. I really could.
Are we going to write a book?
Movie.
Are we going to write a book? Are you going to write a book? What do you think?
I don't know. I'd have to remember everything.
They say that
you sort of block it, don't you, Cindy?
Yeah,
Cindy? You block it.
Of course you block it. Who wants to remember? Even like being at school and stuff, there was stuff I forgot when I was writing my book, even about being at school. And somebody at school that I hadn't seen for 40 years said, hey, don't you remember we were best friends? And I'm like, who are you? And I feel so bad that I didn't remember them, or whatever. I think the space that you're in right now, I think is very healthy for you.
Very healthy. And I'm in a very good space. I really am. I haven't been, COVID wasn't easy. It was challenging, as we know. All of the musicians, or everyone in the entertainment industry, we got no help here from the government. And we got
nothing.
Tough. It was tough. I mean, yes, credit cards and overdrafts and debt. And I'm sure we all went through that.
We were all living it.
Absolutely. It's going to be a while before we land on our feet.
And what kind of feet are we landing on, you see?
We don't know, do we?
Yeah, we don't know what feet we're landing on. We had feet that used to go a certain way, and now they don't go that way anymore. And I think it's forced human beings to actually step up to the plate.
Yes.
Isn't that great? I love that.
That's what I keep saying, COVID is it is a pandemic.
Yes,
and there are a lot of negatives, but
yes,
there is a positive. One, we've been forced to go into retrospection and say, who are we? What do we want? Who do we want?
What do we
kind of
offer in
life
this
do we
world?
exactly?
Yes. What are we
that.
doing?
The compassion and the collaboration amongst communities
That's
have
what come
been
out of this.
profound.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So also during COVID, I was doing mini documentaries for Ladles of Love, which is an NPO.
Yes, I saw that.
Where people donate, and then you go into the, and that food feeds like either 150 rand feeds like 100 children or one child for a month or whatever. And I was going into all these locations where people were being fed, and it was just getting this food and filming
Isn't that
the
amazing?
relief on their face. And we even did pet food for the animals that were not being fed during COVID because their owners didn't have money to feed them. And just the way all the top chefs that all had their own restaurants, Cindy, got together in one kitchen and just cooked and cooked and cooked and delivered to the most vulnerable. I mean, it was just everyone coming. Yes.
And nobody knows about this. We only hear about the bad stuff. We don't hear the good things. And I think also the government get very embarrassed when people take it upon themselves to look after the people that the government should be looking after.
Correct, but we had no option, not we. But the people had no option.
We have no option.
Otherwise they're dying still.
We surpass all of that.
We did.
You know what? You come here and you afterwards they say, "Oh, look what our beautiful people are doing." Shut up, piss off. We're not interested. Yeah. We're doing it, and it is people. It's always the people.
Always.
It's always. Have we got a bit more of that lovely video? I love it. I want to see it. Play it, please. We're still going, baby. We've got lots to talk about. Woohoo!
Oh, yeah. We need about a day. So.
Darling, you and I'm going to come and stay there for a few days, and I'm going to hang with you for a whole day.
Oh,
Foi dentro reservado, olhando cadeirão.
Oh, isn't that cool?
How's it? I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. God knows my name. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. I am not forgotten. God knows my name.
You gotta mean what you say, you gotta say what you mean. Trying to please everyone, sacrifice your own needs. In the mirror, my friend, the lies will be told then. Point to the pillar again, you can't play enough, but I gotta feel it inside.
Wow. Whew. Wow, it's crazy to see that. Hey, you haven't seen that for a while.
It is, but I haven't seen it for a lot. I would say way over 2 years. I haven't. I don't look at it. But I must
Yeah.
tell you, with Israel Houghton and the New Breed, I did
Yes.
his DVD live in South Africa.
Yes.
It actually
Yes.
was shortlisted for a Grammy.
Wow. That's something.
Yeah, he won a
See,
Grammy.
for-
Yeah, he's an
He
8 or
did.
9-time Grammy Award winner. Yeah, he to me, you say memorable. Today we're still friends. He still checks
Really?
on me. He has been a rock in my life, that man. Israel
Wow.
Houghton.
Where does he live?
He has a heart. LA. He used to live in Houston, Texas, and
Okay.
he now lives in LA. He has a heart of gold.
Wow.
The most
See, those are the people that you
beautiful
remember,
mind.
you know.
He is.
We get a lot of
Yeah.
inspiration from
Yeah.
that. You know, when you see somebody who's done well, somebody's out there doing his thing, and yet he's got time for other people.
Oh, I know. That's what's so special. The most humble human being you will ever find. Very special man.
Tell me a bit about Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams. No, he gave me a hard time.
Really?
No, he was actually one. Yeah. I tell you why, because he's very particular about the angle that you capture him.
Okay.
So when I say a hard time, in that way, but he was great
Yes.
to work with. Very involved in, you know, where my cameras are going and what I'm
Yes.
going to be doing. While I was
Yes.
editing, I would have to send, you know, your offline edit, then the next edit. And no, he
Yes.
was great. And yeah, we carried on chatting after he went back to, he's based in London. And actually the show that I recorded and was broadcast on SABC3 was also broadcast on one of the channels in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, because he got the
That's
full master.
Okay. So he probably had it released through one of the
Yes.
production companies there. Yeah. And
Well, he just,
Alanis. Alanis Morissette.
The wild child that never stood
Is she
still for a
the-
moment on stage.
Really?
Well, you saw her
Really?
spinning and charging from one end of the stage to the other. No, she was lovely. Difficult to capture, but I did it. I don't think I've ever cut so fast in my life, going from one thing to the other because to keep her in
Really?
frame. Yeah, and a very sad thing happened on that tour. She had one of her books where she was writing all her new songs. All her new songs were written in that she was still going to record and release. And
Yes.
before she went on stage, she left it backstage. And when she came off
Somebody
stage, that
took
book was
it.
gone.
Oh, no.
Yep.
No.
How tragic was, and that was so sad. She was
That is so
was
disgusting.
devastated.
That's like put South Africa in the dirt box again. Yo, that's your life's work, baby. Your life's work.
And you'd know more than anyone.
I know,
Yeah.
because my phone was stolen about a year ago, just when COVID happened, and I had written so many new songs, and they were on my voice recorder, and I didn't back them up,
Oh.
and were all gone. And it's like you actually have a bit of a conniption fit.
Of course. I mean, you've lost a part of you. I mean, it's
You've
a
lost
part of your
something
soul that's
huge.
been lost. Yes.
Huge.
Massive.
I wouldn't want to think about that happening to me again. Now everything gets saved in the cloud. Whatever
I
that
hope
means.
that's safe in the cloud. I know, I still can't comprehend all of that.
I
Cindy.
can't comprehend it.
Up in the cloud,
too
but
much.
where? It's
What
like
cloud?
cryptocurrency. How
Yeah,
I
I
want
know.
to touch something, yeah.
I know.
Also,
I'm like,
wait,
you did that big DSTV launch.
oh yes, when they launched. God, that was so long ago. Can't even remember. But I think
What
it was
was
done
that
at
all
the
about?
waterfront.
Okay.
It's when DSTV launched MultiChoice, their channel.
Okay.
Can't even remember the content. It was so long ago. I must
But
be
it was
honest.
stunning. I bet it was great.
Yes, all of it was great. I mean, I also, in what was that also show? We went live from all different provinces. 2009, I don't know. There's so many shows, Cindy. I've actually forgotten. It's
No, of course
terrible
you have.
to say.
No, don't
feel
worry.
bad.
I'm just bringing up. Don't be ridiculous. I'm just bringing it up.
I tell you what was.
Yes.
Yeah?
No,
carry
tell
on.
me.
What
tell
was
me.
an incredible experience in my life
Yes.
was working in the Middle East for 7
Where?
months.
Bahrain?
In
Where?
Qatar. No, I did
Qatar.
work in Bahrain. I did the FIFA conference. I did that launch.
Okay.
Live on yeah. But in Qatar, but working with just the type of shows we did, like being out in the desert and falcon hunting and the museums that they have there and the sheikhs.
Oh.
I want to tell you, for those months, I lived as if I was in a movie. Even though I was making movies, I felt like I was in a movie.
My
The
God.
opulence, just the
Yes.
completely different culture. Yeah, so that was a very, very, very memorable time in my life.
Opulence, eh? Yeah. So it's a different world, that.
Completely.
And that's how,
Totally.
how you would live like that with the gold goblets and the stuff.
Yeah, and also for me, because I'm so tactile, and everyone's angel and my darling, and I had to bite my tongue because you can't touch, any of the men there or the sheikhs.
Of course.
It took a lot of reserve.
I want to touch your sheikh.
Experience.
Please let me touch the sheikh.
My sheikh.
I want to check my sheikh.
Yeah.
If production wasn't your first choice, what would it have been? What would have been your first choice? Was that your first choice?
No, it was all by default.
Yeah.
I think my first choice would be in wellness.
Really?
Healing people, yes.
Really?
And
in what area? Yeah?
Healing the soul, helping them through their problems. I love yoga, I love Pilates, I love all the alternative healing methods. I probably would have studied that and got more involved.
Well, you and I have to have a
Yeah.
little chat because I put a wellness program together for people in the arts, people in the industry, and I shared it with Vicky Sampson, and she said it was fantastic. But I'm going to send it to you. Let's see,
Oh,
because I
please
also
do.
want to do
Yes.
something. Yeah, I've also always wanted to do something like that, to have a place where someone can come and feel safe to talk about your
Yes.
crazy life and then to go out there and handle it better, have some tools.
That's exactly. In fact, that is what my dream is ultimately before I leave this planet.
Woo!
Seriously,
We're going to
is
do
to
it,
have a
baby.
retreat and
That's
to
what it
do that for
is, a
people.
retreat.
A
Exactly.
retreat. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For
Oh, we
healing.
were meant
And
to talk,
especially
darling.
women. I
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
women. Mm.
With you've got such a zest for life. You honestly have. You've always, whatever you've done, you throw yourself into it. When I see Diane, I see you alive and you're on top of it. You're not loud and crazy in that way. You're just on top of everything that you do. Where are you now with your zest for life, with empowering others and all that stuff, with all your awards, your accomplishments? Give some people an idea of where are you now.
Well,
Looking
Cindy, I
back on your
don't
whole
think,
life.
you know what, I don't think of my awards. I don't go back. I like approach life. I'm very positive. I do believe that prayer and faith is to succeed and to overcome and to persevere. You need to pray and have faith. Well, for me, it certainly worked. I've overcome everything
Yes.
through that.
Yes.
I'm in a very positive stage of my life. I always have, but I also try to find solutions. I think when I was younger in the industry, I was a complete terror. I know Norm Kabelu, the musicians used to freak out and the crew used to hate me. But I've mellowed a they hated me. I mean, I've had also cameramen walk off and just leave the camera because of the way I shout and scream. But it's never at them. And I
Yeah.
always used to say to them, you must understand, I'm so passionate and I get so carried away that that's why I scream and shout. And,
Yes.
because sometimes you've only got that one chance. But I'm much more mellow. Oh, I've mellowed in my, with time. And I've
Yes.
realized that, the quieter and there's always a solution. And if you don't freak out and you don't freak people out, it actually works better. But it took a long time to realize that.
Well,
I'm still going on, it's still doing my documentaries and trying to do the best I can. I was shortlisted for an SABC show. Who knows what's going to happen there? I still carry on like I always did, doing the best I can and making a difference. I just want to make a difference in life for other people. Do you know what I want? I want to be the light and I want to bring light to the world. Like that. And I want to be a better version of myself each and every single day. So I ask for that guidance.
but that's what we have to ask for, that guidance. Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of our little friends here. Bernie Williams, hi doll.
Oh,
Jenny
hello,
Horton.
Bernie.
We love
Oh, I
Bernie.
love that man.
He's a
Yes.
darling.
He's a beautiful
Jenny
man.
Horton. She's here. Marion from Germany also popping in. She says, no tea tonight because I've always got a teacup. I didn't have time to do tea tonight. I was rushing. And Terry Barker. Terry used to be the door. She used to do the door at Plum Crazy.
Okay, I remember Plum Crazy.
Of course we do. Do we have any other videos, Jules, or photos or something? I want to have a look. And if there's nothing, we can just talk a bit more about what's going on. Yep, I don't think there's anything. Did we see that whole...
Well,
Oh, no, we got something. Victor.
that was at one of the tourist Indabas, the
Okay.
opening.
That's
There
me.
you go, baby. That's you.
With
Do you
Dave
remember
Pennell.
that?
I
Yes.
remember. In Cape Town.
Yes.
Oh, that was great. There
That
you
was
are.
There I was in Ghana talking about my cancer experience.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Oh, powerful.
Oh, Rodriguez.
Okay.
I did, yeah, his last tour here. I did his DVD
Awesome.
in Cape Town. Or was it,
Was it
no, in
lovely?
Joburg. Yeah, I think so. I tell you, also well, I'll talk to you now. Oh, there, I think that's Joyous Celebration. No, that's Mahir Zain that came to the Artscape, and I was directing that.
Okay.
Phenomenal artist. Well, there's Israel.
Mm.
That was his DVD cover.
Beautiful, hey? Like an African map.
I don't know where that was or what that is. Can't remember. It. And that looks like it was also maybe possibly a jazz festival. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I can't remember that.
Nice. Wow. So you wanted to tell me something?
No, it's gone out of my head. I was
Oh,
going to say, what did
God.
we see?
You saw a picture of Israel, picture of somebody else playing.
It's gone. Absolutely gone. I just got
Don't
carried
worry,
away.
darling.
Oh, joyous celebration. So
Yes.
So you see me. There's one picture there or a video of me dancing. So the crew always mock me because I don't sit and direct. I actually stand up and dance and run between the camera. Yeah, between the monitors. Yeah, that was. I think that's what triggered that thought.
It's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, you've got to get into the music.
Absolutely. What would you want to be doing now? If somebody came and said, hey, I've got a choice for you, what do you want to be doing now?
I'm doing what I actually want to do at the moment, and that
Yeah.
is doing documentaries that are profiling companies that are making a positive change in communities and people's lives.
Okay.
So I love doing that because it means a lot to me to see the change and to see how what companies are actually doing, because people haven't got a clue. And we're talking about big companies. We're talking about the TFG group. We're talking about Northern Platinum. We're talking about Indorama. We're talking about Avbob. I mean, I've just done a docu on where Avbob, they actually for gender-based violence. I mean, the amount of money, and they have invested in the Tears group. You must know about the Tears group, where an app was developed. So if you abused at home, I mean, Cindy, I wish we had this in our day. There's an app now that you just press a number and you get immediately through to a person, and it says where you are, your location comes up. They immediately put you through to the police.
Oh, wow.
And you can, so that was quite incredible. And how Tears are helping all these abused women pull through and putting them into shelters. And no, we never had that. We were on our own.
No, we didn't. We did not have that.
So those are the stories I'm busy telling at the moment, and I'm loving it.
Well,
I still love my...
You know, but I know you still love your other documentaries and your stuff, but, you know, there's some things that just make you feel better about what you've done in your life. And this is the kind of thing. It's like when I go and I talk to a classroom of kids about how music can help you and how music can change your life, and I tell my story, I am in such joy when I'm doing that.
Yeah. So music, I'm still... No, carry on. Sorry?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just like...
Yeah. It is. It's a beautiful, rewarding feeling. And music, I'm still passionate about and always will be. And there's nothing to beat sitting in that Obi van directing a concert. There's nothing to beat.
I know.
You know?
It's amazing.
Yes.
No,
And
it's just magic.
so I'm very happy where I am now. And then, as I say, before I leave Earth, I would like to have that retreat for healing women. I really would.
Well, I'm in with you. Let's talk about it. I think it'd be a great
Absolutely.
thing to do. I wouldn't mind running it, and just getting off
Please
the
do.
grid completely. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, get off the grid, source everybody. I think all kinds of people. It doesn't only have to be the entertainment industry. Anybody who's
No,
at risk.
anybody.
Anybody whose
Anybody.
soul is at risk, or who's somebody who's feeling like, I just need to sit down and talk to somebody who gets it.
Yeah.
You know?
And someone that's been there.
Yes, somebody
and
that's
you and I
been
have
there.
been there.
Yes, we are the kind of people you can talk about this stuff to. I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think when I say you've left a legacy, that's a big part of your legacy that you will be leaving.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And that's special. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We're always over time and we love our going over time. We don't mind it at all. Di, thank you so much for giving us your time and showing us some very cool stuff and sharing what you've done in your life. A very cool life and very tough, because anything in the music business or in the entertainment business or in any of those businesses, it's a tough road. It's not an easy road.
No, it isn't.
Huh?
But you don't thank me. I need to thank you for
Why?
allowing me to share and to
Oh.
remind me of stuff I'd forgotten about. I must be honest.
I'm glad I could do that, because when I
Yes.
read your, I always ask for the people to send me a CV, and I don't sit there and go rote for rote and that's what it did. I read between the lines. I see the stuff that I think you, the listeners, would go, oh, wow, that's cool. And I see the stuff that I would go, oh, wow, that's cool. So this is definitely never just washed over and I just grab your CV and read it from the top. I do believe we've all got these incredible lives to live, and your life has been very important and very special. And I hope it continues to be exactly the way you planned it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So do I. But we never know from one day to the next, Cindy.
And that's
We
what
wake
life
up
is.
and each day is a new day and we don't know
It's
what faces
beautiful.
us. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We have choices every single day, and we take them as they come.
Correct.
And thank you so much, Di, for sharing your
Thank you.
space and your heart with us. Thanks to our producer, Discover TV. You guys rock. Keep this
You
going.
do.
Yes, you do. We've got a great guest next week. Please stick around for that. Next week, Tuesday night, always on Discover TV. Mwah. Blessings to you all. And we'll see you soon. What are we going to play out?